Although I'm currently smiling, if you have the problem we're about to fix, you're probably not so happy, and that's okay. Yeah, you've got a project ahead of you, but you can tackle this. It's really not the end of the world. If you'll notice on this flange, I hope we're close enough, we probably are, you can see where it's broken there. A lot of times it'll be cracked, so a whole section will be missing. If it's damaged anywhere in the area of where these bolts go, the bolts will not hold, and essentially what will happen is the toilet, you won't be able to get it tightened down, and it'll wiggle around no matter what. Now that can lead to two big problems. One is a broken toilet, as one of the flanges of the other gets broken on the toilet itself. The other is the inevitable leak. Wax springs do a pretty good job of following motion, but if it moves too much or shifts too much over time, that wax spring will definitely leak. So if in the process of removing a toilet you also find that it's got a crack or some damage to it, take the time while you're there to get it fixed as well. Now there's two ways to fix this. I can completely cut off and remove this flange and then install a new type of flange. Now if I wanted to do that, this particular flange uses screws that holds it in place. I would remove those screws. I would use a wire saw such as this. And with that wire saw laid parallel to the flooring, I would pull it back and forth along the underside of the flange until I cut it off clear. Now at that point, once it's cut off and you've just got bare pipe exposed, you can use a twist and set type flange such as this. You can see it's got a rubber gasket and threads. And as you tighten this in the pipe, the rubber gasket will move up the pipe and expand and press itself in the gap against the pipe that it's being used in. So you just get it set so it's kind of snug from when you initially put it in. A little snugger than that. And then once you've got it to where it's fairly snug, that's too snug, back it off enough so you can just work it in there. And then, as you tighten it up, settle it down to the floor, the more you twist it, the more it tightens against the pipe, creating a seal that'll keep the methane gas from working its way up this way. So that's a twist and set flange. That's a good way to go if you absolutely have to. But replacement flanges come in a wide variety. This type is very popular, but you have to make sure it's the right width, because this type is trying to fit underneath your existing flange. And our current flange is too wide to use this type. So that type wouldn't work, although they're popular. And basically they just lay in place and you run screws in all 6 holes. If you're adapting to a cast iron pipe for some reason, maybe the flange is cast iron and the drain pipe is cast iron, you would use something like this. It's got a rubber seal on it that seals against the inside edge of the cast iron as you press down on that. And then you just make sure your bolt slots line up properly, even across the toilet, perpendicular to the toilet, put a screw in every hole, and that would take care of it there as well for adapting to cast iron. If you're going to insert a whole new piece of PVC from the bottom up, maybe you don't have a clean out down there, maybe you've got a leak problem with the drain system down there, this type of flange, very similar to the one you see here, is what you would install, making sure that the narrow parts of the bolts are lined up in a 90-degree angle to the toilet. And once it's pressed and glued into place, you would use the screw holes, and then using a hammer, you would knock around this ring and then pull that cap out once you're ready to put it into service. The type of ring we're going to use today to make this repair is a flat steel ring that lays right over the top of our broken flange and then uses screws around the perimeter to make that repair, to hold it in place solid. These are a great repair. The only thing you have to keep in mind is because they are wider at the outside edge, you do need to make sure they'll fit underneath your toilet and remain hidden when your new toilet goes in place. The very first time I tried to install one of these, I didn't verify that, and I got it all in place and solid, got my wax ring in and the bolts, I was ready to go, and I was unable to get the toilet to sit down. It was being held up by these 2 flanges, so double check that and make sure. And it's really just as simply as lining up the slots on the replacement flange with the existing slots so you know you're centered over the plumbing, and running some screws. Well, that one pulled through. That screw head must be too big. Using appropriately sized screw heads is obviously important. That one we'll put out and put another screw in it. But you get the general idea? Once you've got that flange locked down and tight, we'll get a screw and make sure it fits in there solid. Then you've got a place to reinsert your mounting bolts. Get a new wax ring on the top there that'll seal it that way. And as long as you've made sure the toilet will fit over it, you should be good for the reinstallation. And you won't have to worry about this one breaking. It's steel. So, even though it's a little intimidating, you can take care of this. I know you can. Go get it checked off the list, because I know you've got better things to do.